It's my greatest pleasure to be talking to you, Chris, today, a great entrepreneur. Could you please introduce yourself and what do you do for business?
I'm Chris, and I run Alfa. We're a web development company based in Scarborough.
Yeah, that's very interesting. How is the Alpha Graphicon centered around the clients?
Well, the main ethos of this company is to help set like-minded entrepreneurs up for success. And I don't believe that my success should be predicated on sapping the success from others. Now, this oozes out of the business model, right from the free one-to-one digital consultation. It's a free phone call where they don't have to take my services, but I will offer all my advice and everything that I know. And then it comes down to price. I'm not charging a fortune. They're right on board all the way through with the website. They're fully involved with everything. And once you do pay me for the website, you get 100% of my time until the website is done. So we try and make sure that I am there, and it's a really, really personable service.
Will you charge a high price when you become famous?
I won't know. I'll keep it the same. My idea is to keep charging low and overtake the market. Hopefully that'll work.
Was it easy or difficult to start your own business?
This one, it's been difficult running because I quit my job on the 21st. I stopped my job on the 21st of January. And then I had to come down to basically living on nothing to try and make it work whilst working for free because the world stopped. So it's been a real struggle to stay on with it and not just, just give up. And I work, it's 19-hour days. It's been relevant on social media whilst trying to give value. So it is tough. It is really hard, but it will be worth it. And I am helping people, which I do get a buzz from.
Are you more satisfied now that you have your own business?
I am, yeah. I'm more satisfied working for myself than I would be working for someone else, or I have been ever working for someone else.
Would you recommend others to have their own businesses?
I do. I believe that everyone should be their own entity in some way, and you shouldn't rely on a 9 to 5. So imagine if everyone traded back in the day. Imagine if everybody found out one thing they were passionate about and then started making money from it, and everyone had this little bit of passion that they were able to sell in their life. I think that'd be perfect for everyone.
Very nice. So you advertise that you take businesses to the next level. What is the next level?
The next level, well, let's say from wherever they are, if it's just an idea that somebody's got and they want to start a business, I'll take that idea to a fully fledged Google ranking powerhouse. So that's how I take a business to the next level. So it all depends on the digital consultation. Whatever I identify as them needing, I'll do whatever I can to give my best for them and take whatever the business is to the next level, whether that's a digital presence, whether that's a website that's engaging where it wasn't before. Even if I see a website and they're not through me, I'll offer out some advice and send it out via email if I think they do need help, even if they don't offer me services. So yeah, it's all about trying to take someone from where they are to where they want to be and being the little middleman in that.
Let me ask you a difficult question here. Like, usually the people who go for startups or coaching or like helping others, like have extensive experience in their career, in their field. But
Yes.
you are still young. How how do you balance this?
Well, I'm only 31. But no, yeah, so I think probably about 6-7 years I was making a t-shirt business. So from there, I had to pay someone £60 for a logo. And I thought, why am I paying this sick guy 60 quid? So I started from there and started to develop graphic design. And then it's sort of a hobby. So then from there, I went into video editing and that became a hobby as well. And then over the last year or so, while I've been really developing my websites, I've got to grips with the ins and outs of it. And the SEO walkthrough, I'm a very fast learner. So I call myself a one-man digital army. I do everything. There's no outsourcing.
Okay, so let's go to the next question. What tools and knowledge do you offer to, does your website offer to the other businesses or to your customers?
Yeah, well, I believe that a website should be more than just a digital presence. A website, it can be a tool to make your business run smoother. So the tools that my website can offer, if you're a restaurant, you can have a live menu on there, so you can change what you've got, and then people know what you've got before you come in. Live WhatsApp chat. I have been in the game for a few years, product-based, selling stuff, developing websites, so I can objectively look at someone's business after the consultation, identify problems, and then use my technology to solve the problems, really.
Let me ask you a question here. Like all your website, all your business is focused on the website, the internet.
Yeah.
What about the other businesses on the ground?
How do you mean?
I mean, your clients are always people who have presence online.
Yeah.
What about clients who like don't have the ability, don't have the platform. Um,
Well, if you don't have the platform, I mean, I would recommend they say they had access to some sort of internet. I think everyone has, sort of a base rate of internet or knowledge. But what I do is I teach them as I go. The whole idea of the company is to set them up for success. So say if somebody doesn't have a website, I'll build a website for them. Go to them with the laptop and show them how to use it, or get them into a library, or recommend some way they can use the internet. But then I'll teach them all the way how to do posts, what to post, where to post, why they're doing it, and then I'll train them up on the website builder coming out, so they know what they're doing and they can stay on top of their own business and be truly set up for success.
so your business is mainly about getting these businesses popular and known and accredited by Google.
Yeah, ranked on Google and in the right place that they need to be for them to do their own marketing and yeah, be set up.
Like, how can you do this on the ground to the businesses, to the companies that don't care about online presence?
Well, to be honest, there's enough people in the world. If there's people in the world and don't care about an online presence, then they're probably not going to need my services. I did sales for quite some time, and I do know that if you call someone and they're not interested, the next person might be. I will offer my advice regardless and say, this is what I believe you should do. If you're a business with no online presence and you don't use the internet, that's fair enough. That's up to you. But you do need to move forward with the times, because the world is changing, and this is why I will offer my advice. Whether they take it or not is up to them. But yeah, I'm here to help everyone if they need it. And who knows, they might take the advice a year down the line, so they might come back to me. You don't know.
Okay, let's go to the next step. How do you plan on carry out the Google ranking?
So the Google ranking, it comes down to the algorithm. I actually released a free SEO walkthrough on YouTube. I broke down the Google ranking factors and I explained them one by one for everybody to run through if they did want to. With Google ranking, if say we're starting with a new business, it all starts with the URL. So you imagine you have a business name, you have the business industry, and then you have the business location. So that's your SEO ranking starting factor, and then it goes from there where you'll location based during you're building the website. You'll find out what search ranking they want. So say for example, a recent customer wanted to be #1 for vegan supplements in a town called Scarborough. So I tagged the whole website to show up for vegan supplements in Scarborough, and then now within 2 weeks he's #1. Vegan supplements for Scarborough. He's #1 and #2. No, it doesn't only start and stop with the website though. It starts your social media. I will offer all the knowledge that I possess and all the knowledge that I've learned on social media, and teach you how to drive traffic to your website as well, to get people on so they can engage with the website. And then once you've done that right, the way I built the website with engagement, people will stay on it. You have about 30 seconds when somebody comes to your website before they decide if you're staying or not. So you need to make those 30 seconds count. Once they are staying, you need to keep them on your website with pop-ups, maybe location-based, maybe a little video explaining who you are. It's all about engagement. So Google ranking doesn't come down to just what you do on how you build the website. It comes down to the content and how you're getting people to engage, as well as driving traffic externally and building your profile digitally.
Yeah, very interesting. And what are Google algorithms?
A Google algorithm is like a checklist. The way I see it, if you imagine Google has web crawlers, so we'll imagine these as spiders, and these will crawl through your website. Now, an algorithm, they'll have a checklist. So the first box, if you said you're a vegan supplement store in Scarborough, the first checkbox will see if your website is talking about anything vegan. So your first vegan, web crawlers will look, oh, he's on about vegan stuff on the first line. Are they vegan supplements? So the web crawlers will check that. You get 2 ticks. Is he in Scarborough where he says he is? And it'll check on, let's say if you've got a link on Facebook, Google My Business, stuff like that, it'll check where you are. All you got to do is check the boxes, and then it'll look at how people are interacting with your website. So how long they stay on. If someone types in vegan supplement Scarborough and look for AA nutrition, then you click on the website and click off straight away. Google sees that as them not having the relevant content. So you need to make sure that you do everything right. So it's more than just building a website. That's why I'm offering the service that I'm offering. You need a full rounded explanation so you know exactly what you're doing going forward.
Yeah, so interesting. What are the standards of building and engaging and let's say a good website from your point of view?
If you look at my website, I've got a virtual tour on my website. So my website, I would class that as the ideal website. I said at the end of my last walkthrough, Google's going to edge towards multimedia. People are looking at video more than they're looking at text or image based. This is why we're doing a video podcast now. It's more engaging. So I've tried to edge my website towards that for the engagement. So people are clicking on a video, they're watching it, they're staying on my website for maybe 2-3 minutes than they would have originally. So that's the engagement. Google sees that as engagement, and it's moving you up the rankings, as well as somebody's going to watch your video and take in what you're saying rather than having to read it. Because I'll be honest, the user can be lazy. If you don't lay it out for them nice and simple, they are more likely to find someone else that will. So I make sure that my websites are concise, engaging, and driven to whatever the client wants. So maybe more sales, maybe more engagement. We just got to guide the user and make sure that we have sales-based widgets or location-based pop-ups. For an example, if someone comes to your website for the first time, you have a welcome message. That's a normal thing. But let's imagine they come to your website for the third or fourth time and they've not done anything yet. If you have a pop-up that comes up and says, you've been here before, is there anything I can help you with? If your experience is personalized, a user is 81% more likely to take action at the end of that website. So all these little things can edge the user towards the way that you want. And that is what I try to include in the business, and that all starts with the one-to-one consultation.
So like what I understand, it's more about personalizing the website to the client.
Yeah, well, that helps as well. Yeah, I mean, if it's just a business, then it'll do well. But if the website's personalized, if there's an image of the owner or if there's a video of the person, it personalizes the website straight away. It's more engaging and you feel a little bit more connected. So I'd always suggest that you have an image of yourself either on your website or on your About Me section, or at least the contact name, because most companies hide behind the company name and they don't want people calling them, when really, if you just say, look, I'm the owner, you'll have more people ringing and say, hi, is that Darren? Can I buy this off you? So yeah, personability is an important factor, yeah, I would say.
Yeah, very interesting. Okay, so let's say like in the market, in business, it's all about results. It's all about standards. Why do you advertise yourself as a business that cares?
Because I generally do care. I worked for a national brand, and the worst thing they did was employ an entrepreneur. Companies now, the digital market, they've massively inflated the price of a website. People think if they pay more, then they'll get more, when really, I'll be honest, all it costs is time. So I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to make it so an entrepreneur with a startup fund isn't stolen from all the money with a website that isn't going to serve them well. I'm trying to make it so they pay a little bit and they get more than what they pay. And I'm trying to build a brand on trust. I generally do care in the people that come on board. And if they do need us, I will help and try and offer as much advice as I can. Whether they come on board or not after the consultation, I care about them doing successful for themselves.
Okay, let me say this, like always you are trying to teach the clients, the customers about how they can succeed.
Yeah.
How is this compatible with your sustainability, with the future of your business?
It all comes down to just the way I run it. I mean, I can do it with every client that comes on. I'll take them on one at a time if I have to. I'll get someone else maybe on that's up to my level. But for now, when they pay me, they get 100% of my time, so they get taught. With them getting taught, I don't have to open up a call center where other people have to do edits for them, or they need help because they'll be able to do it themselves, which allows me to keep my overheads down, because I'll be honest, I'm allergic to overheads. I really don't like them. I find if I train them up, not only do I get the Google ranking that I get to put on my wall of fame, they know exactly what they're doing. Their business is going to do better. And eventually everyone, if they choose Alpha Graphicon, we're all going to do great, and it'll be a good time.
So the question is here, like if everyone and if every business can take care of their own popularity and their own website presence,
Yeah.
where would your business fit?
Well, I don't charge for the social media knowledge, and I don't charge for the training that comes as standard. So all I'm interested in is them being on the platform and using it. So really, my business is taken in the build fee at the start, where my time's used doing the designing, and then they pay monthly for the platforms to be set up for success. So my sustainability lies in them staying on monthly, which is no contract. So by offering as much as I do with no contract, I believe that people are less likely to leave me. So that's how my business will sustain going forward, I believe, by giving more for less.
Yeah, that's a good philosophy. Let's go to the next question. What kind of clients do you work with?
Anyone that needs me. I love variety. I love change. I'm always up for a challenge. I've worked with a vegan company, a gym, a vehicle remarketers, an employment company, all sorts. I'm building a website for a first aid training company at the moment, which has been a lot of fun. I've got to build one for a joiner, a hairdresser. So yeah, anyone really. I'm up for all the industries.
When would you reject or refuse a client?
It depends on how they're conducting their business. If a customer is, so I'll be blunt. If a customer's having other people off, or I believe that they're operating, unjustly, then I will not do business with them. If they don't fit in with my ethos, then I won't have them on the books just for the money, because then I'm only about the money and everything I'm talking is a load of rubbish. One of my mentors, a very smart man, he says, if you have a salesman on your floor that sells 300 cars a day, but he doesn't fall in line with the ethos of your company, you have to let him go, because your other sales team are going to see that you're all about the money. So if they don't fit in line, or they sell something that I don't believe in, then I won't really entertain it. No.
Let me ask you this question. Like, you are now in the designing and website business. How competitive is this niche or this kind of market?
Very competitive. Everyone can build a website pretty much these days, especially Scarborough. It's a very, very big pond of web developers and very large names. But the way Google's going now, they don't care. There's this thing called legacy with Google, where they look at the oldest URL and they put that at the top of Google. But as I said, about 2-3 months ago, they've gone more towards engagement. So now if you build a website that's engaging, you can go to the top of the rankings regardless of how long you've been around. As an example, I rebuilt my website 1 week ago with the aim of getting to the top of Google. I called it out on LinkedIn so everybody knew. Within 7 days, I'm ranked at the top of Google for web development in Scarborough of about maybe 40 pages. And the nearest company to me has been around for 14 years. So it shows that, as long as you build towards engagement and you build the website right, you can go straight to the top. So hopefully competitiveness, when word gets around, it won't be an issue.
Okay. In the future, like how compatible, how successful would this line of business be?
Very. In the next 5 years, it's estimated that 79 million people are going to become self-employed. So that's a lot of websites you've got to imagine. And this isn't the only string to my bow. It's not the last in the Alfa brand that you're going to see. And there is another thing called Beer Boss, where we're grouping MLM companies together that are vetted, that aren't going to have people off on another line of it. So there's lots of different avenues that are going to come. So yeah, the longevity of the company is going to do very well.
Yeah, that's very, very nice. Very helpful for you. Okay. Let's look at your website. How do you evaluate your website? What are the standards? What are the success elements you have made sure to include in your website?
I make sure that they're going to be location based. If me and the customer come to an idea or a plan, I make sure that it falls in line with that. And there's a live site comment based system. So rather than being on the phone with each other and discussing all the changes, they can log on their side through their own portal to the Alfa site website editor and leave live comments on the website. They can literally click and say, I want this a little bit more green. So the way that works is they're live, they're on there, they can make the changes. And then that's how that works. So we evaluate it by making sure both I'm happy with how the website's going to perform and they're happy with how the website looks. Once everyone's happy, it gets set live, and then I'll give them a training session on the editor tool themselves. Yeah.
Okay. Now you have dealt with clients and other businesses for a while. What's your experience about dealing with other people?
I like them. They're generally quite nice. Other people, they have been stung by web developers in the past, so they are quite wary of somebody like me. I find when I first talk to them, they're a bit sketchy, but when they go onto my YouTube channel and they have a look at my website, they're a lot more friendly when they come back, and everybody wants a website that's going to give them more profit and save them time, don't they? So the people I generally deal with, and I'm always there for them. I try and be happy. I make sure the customer journey is a pleasant one. I do believe that how someone feels when they leave your business is just as important as how they feel when they join. So I try and make sure no matter what happens all the way through, I'm right there for them just as if they're a new customer.
Let's say that you, from the new generations, like you are a role model. You started your own business. You are still young,
Yeah.
compared to other people. Like they spend about 25 or 30 years old in their career before they took this step.
Yeah.
What is your message to the new generations? What would you say to the other people?
I'd say get involved and don't be afraid to change your mind. You're young, so you're going to want lots of different things. So if you do get into something and you think, oh, I put a year into this and I don't want to do it anymore, people think changing your mind is a weakness when in reality, changing your mind is a strength. So the only message I'd give to the young people that are getting into business, don't be afraid to try as many things as you want until you find that actual passion that makes you money. But most of all, don't give up. just keep at it and stick at it, because it will be worth it. Even if it takes, Gary Vaynerchuk, it took him 7 years. He did a wine library podcast for 7 years before anybody listened to him whatsoever. So don't give up. It will come, and just keep cracking at it, and make sure you're passionate about what you do.
If you will put a title to your life until now, like a title to your journey, what would that title be?
Oh, a roller coaster.
Is that something people should should be interested in, or should
I
be
mean, to be
aware?
honest, my life, if you want me to lay out my life, I was a salesman for about 10 years. I moved abroad. I did cold calling sales abroad I was in Barcelona for about 2 years. I went over to Marbella, Athens, Prague, cold calling. I came back, started a few businesses of my own. The reason I'm so focused with this business that I'm in is I had a little girl about a year ago. And she really put this focus and drive into me that I'd never had before in my life. So this is how I keep going every single day. I am in a battle to spend some time with her at the moment. I haven't spent much time with her over the last year, but we are getting there. So yeah, I mean, this is so my life. It's not been simple. It's not a silver spoon kind of thing. I have slept rough. I have been down in the bottom, and I have fought and bounced back every single time. So no matter how bad it is, there is always a way out the other side. And all through this, I've tried to run a business and still try to help everyone else and bring joy to as many people as I can, no matter what difficulty I'm going through. And I try and bring this through in business. And I think the journey I've gone on in life really does seep through in the way I try and do business and helping other people.
Very interesting. Let me ask you this: like, what would you say to the people who didn't start their own thing, their own business, their own entity, and wouldn't do that later on? Are they missing something?
No, it doesn't matter. You're never too old. You're never too old. You may not have it right now, but you want something. You may have that idea, but never give up on it. You never Kentucky Fried Chicken. He was 79 before he he sold KFC as a franchise. You're never too old to make something happen.
Okay, so I ran out of questions. What else would you like to add?
No, yeah, I think that's everything. I've enjoyed coming on, and I look forward to the podcast.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much, Chris.
You too, buddy. Thanks for your time.